recording and stuff. Anyways, so just right before we get started, I just want to ask that you keep all questions in the text channel because I am deaf. And I'm gonna see if I can, okay, I don't think I can pin it, but someone else probably can. Anyways, so I have, obviously my presentation is in full screen, but I have my phone here, I have a notebook here, and welcome to the Magic Systems panel. So first off, because I forgot to put this in the slideshow, what is magic? My dictionary that I have on my phone defines it as the art or practice of using charms, spells, or rituals in an attempt to produce supernatural effects or control events in nature. So essentially, it's things that happen when you raise your hand that are not normally associated with hand waving, to put it simply. So that's the first thing, and then, so I have a lot of examples. There's the popular magic systems, specifically, and I have an entire section on Disney, because Disney. So anyways, the first one is Harry Potter. Yes, I know about the thing that happened recently. I started writing this ages ago. But anyways, in Harry Potter, any child born magical, basically, can be accepted into their local school of witchcraft and wizardry. In Europe, not Europe, in like England, is it? It's Hogwarts. In America, all of America, it's Ilvermorny. In, I don't know what the others are, but a lot of them translate to magic place, but not correctly. Anyway, so we have, but anyway, so students in Harry Potter can learn any magical skill. Now, sometimes, like, in real life, most students are more proficient in some subjects than others. Like, Neville was better in herbology than defense against the dark art. Stuff like that. But all students are capable of everything. And the next one we have is Pixar's Onward. And yeah, I'm counting this as separate from Disney. But anyways, magic is a thing that exists. If you can't see the panel, you should be able to like click on my avatar and click like the watch stream button. Okay. And in Onward, magic is something, it's distributed in some way, but it's not really explained to the audience. My guess would be that it's genetic or like hereditary in some way, but it's not explained. However, it's explained in the prologue that it takes years to learn, but it wasn't, it wasn't something that everybody has, but it takes a long time to learn. And because of that, basically history went on the same path that it did in real life, pretty much. They found easier ways to get around certain problems. The light bulb was shown to be invented, and that is why Onward looks like modern real life. So the next one we have is She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. This is the reboot of She-Ra, the 80s cartoon that is on Netflix. So in She-Ra, the magic is either given to the princesses via runestone, or they're a sorcerer, basically. And it's never really explained in the show as to who can become a sorcerer or how. Maybe it's explained in the original, but I've never seen the original, so. Except for the princesses and sorcerers, everything pretty much is done with technology, which functions kind of similar to magic, but not quite. And finally, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm sure you've all heard about it by now. So, in Avatar, there's several, there's the 4 elemental groups, basically. There's the Fire Nation, the Earth Kingdom, the Water Tribes, and the Air Nomads. And this ability to bend their element is just kind of random, scattered randomly, and the Avatar is the only one of the benders who can master all 4 elements, basically. So now we get into Disney, because every Disney princess movie's plot hinges on magic. But I don't have all of the Disney princess movies in here, or not all Disney princess movies, because I haven't seen every Disney movie in existence. So, yeah. But anyways, the first one that we have is Peter Pan. The original play was written in 1904 by J.M. Barrie, and this, I have no idea when it came out, but I think it was sometime in the 50s. Anyway, Peter Pan magic is pretty much just Neverland and its residents. The fairies, the mermaids, they only appear in Neverland. They don't appear anywhere else. And there's something going on that keeps Peter Pan and the Lost Boys from growing up. There's also, I haven't seen this movie in a while, but it's explained in the 1954 musical, which is not Disney, but it's the same story, just with different music. The Lost Boys are boys who fell out of their crib as babies, and the girls are too sensible to fall out of their cribs, apparently. I don't know if that's mentioned in the Disney movie, but I felt it was worth mentioning here. I don't know why. So it's that. And then the next one that we have is Cinderella. So the mice can talk. That's already magical. And then when Cinderella is when the Cinderella is missing the ball, the fairy godmother kind of appears, and Cinderella asks who she is, and the fairy godmother says, "I'm your fairy godmother." Which I think kind of implies that everybody has a fairy godmother, and she says, "I'm your fairy godmother." And the fairy godmothers can turn pumpkins into carriages, mice into horses, and whipped up pink dresses into silver ones, like the ones shown in the picture. No, the dress is not blue. And I can't remember if it was explained or not, but the magic wears off at midnight, but for some reason the slippers don't. They just kind of stay. So yeah. And the next one we have is Sleeping Beauty. Yes, yeah. So, the fairies exist, and I believe they're the only ones who can do magic. Again, not everything is explained. So, I believe it's mentioned that the good fairies can only do good magic, basically. Magic that can help people and stuff like that. But Maleficent is also probably a fairy, I think. And she went dark at some point and has access to dark magic because of that. And the next one, Aladdin. So, some people, I believe, can be a sorcerer. For example, Jafar. And it's never really explained. Also, the parrot can talk, so there's that too. I don't know if it's just only Jafar can understand, because I haven't watched any of this in a while. But the genie, specifically, has full control over the universe except for 3 things. He can't kill anyone, he can't make anyone fall in love, and he can't really bring people back from the dead. He technically can, but it doesn't look good. And the next thing is The Little Mermaid. The mermaids exist. That's a thing. That's already magical. And some, Ursula, are able to do things to other people, like have them sign a contract, and then they can take away an aspect of them. For example, Ursula was able to take Ariel's voice away in exchange for Ariel to have legs. And the next one is Frozen. I think this is the last one. But anyways, there are 4 elemental spirits of sorts. And the 5th one is Elsa. Not ice or snow, just Elsa. And Elsa connects all of the other 4 spirits. Elsa's power can create life itself. See Olaf and marshmallow monster thing. And she can create ice fabric that, just watch Let It Go. You can see, so it's fabric that's wearable. And it's possible that wearing gloves can suppress her powers, but it's might not necessarily be true. Especially considering, aside from the trolls, even aside from the trolls, no one really knew how to contain magic. So it's kind of just who knows? Oh, it's not the last one. Oh, no, it is. This is the one that I've written when I was 12. I'd like to think I've improved since then, but it was only 3 years ago, so yeah. 7 pages, that was short. Anyways, so there's a group of 7 siblings who travel to this fantasy land every year called Fairyland. And it's on a specific day via a really bad thunderstorm. And their dad was like born in fairyland, and the kids have magic rings basically that give them the ability to perform magic. But they only had specific abilities, such as reading bad handwriting, translating foreign languages, or controlling plants. For some reason that I can't remember, they had to hide their powers from their mom, but they could just take the rings off with no consequence. Anyways, on to the actual helpful part of this. The the things you might probably want to know about the magic system. There are a couple of things that I forgot to put in the slideshow, so I'm just going to talk about it now. With a magic system, you generally want to have rules, because otherwise you can just be like, because magic, and it very much is not it's not going to be a compelling story if you can just solve everything with magic. So there are a few different ways to go about it. You can have it be a training thing, where like only the very most trained of wizards can do certain types of magic. You can have it be something like radiation, where it can be used, but it has to be used in small controlled bursts. And if you use too much, you can, destroy everything. Or you can have it so that you just have innate power, and something like that would be, if you're not born with a certain amount of power, you will never have that amount of power. Yeah. So there's a lot you can do with magic systems and their rules. But let's get on to the things I actually put in the slideshow. So we've got, is magic hidden from the non-magical world? In stories like Harry Potter, magic is kind of somewhat hidden. The average non-magical person might not necessarily know about the magical world, but people in government positions or parents of Muggle-borns will know about magic. It exists. In shows like She-Ra and Avatar, magic is just a thing that exists, and it's not in any way hidden or anything. It's just a normal part of their world. In Onward, magic was just kind of forgotten about when technology started advancing. So that's that, yeah. And then the next question is, how does one acquire magic? How do you get magic? So basically, are you born with magic? Do you connect to a device, a runestone? In Harry Potter, magic is mostly inherited with, magic is mostly inherited, and with a rare case of someone with non-magical parents being born magical. In Avatar and in Onward, magic is more or less gained at random, maybe inherited. It's really never explained. In She-Ra, magic is gained by being connected to a runestone, i.e. being a princess, or a prince, being a royal person, and or being connected, or what? No. Or by being a sorcerer, which is never explained. And so, can magical people learn anything, or do they only have a specific ability? So in Harry Potter and onward, any magical skill can be learned by anyone. In She-Ra, or Avatar, magic is gained via the runestone or whatever the heck gives the sorcerers their power, and princesses can only learn the power granted by their runestone. Sorcerers, on the other hand, can do pretty much anything. In Avatar, benders can only learn the element of the group they were born into unless they just so happen to be the Avatar. And so if you have magic, if you have an urban fantasy story, your magic system is basically going to be, or your world is basically going to be, if your world is basically real life but with magic, you're gonna have to deal with world histories and stuff. So like, if one person on one side has healing powers, or one person on both sides has healing powers, it's going to make a war much harder to win. Harry Potter has a kind of sidesteps it by having it illegal for muggles to get involved in wizards to get involved in muggle conflict. But most of the time, a lot of the time, magic systems are set in alternate worlds, or it's just never explained. Anyways, so this one was a bit difficult for me to try to explain in the side thing, but basically are magical people with specific abilities training in certain fields, or are they doing their own thing? So basically, if people with certain powers, for example, if they have healing powers, are they specifically training to be a doctor or something medical, or are they just doing their own thing? This is probably more of something that's like different for every person, rather than a monolith of magical people or whatever. But it's something to think about, I think. Anyway, so the next thing. Can humans even have magic? Is all of the magic specifically about magical creatures? You know, do magical creatures even exist? And it's pretty straightforward, I think. So do people have magic, or is all of the magic in the animals and the creatures? And this is kind of related, but what kind of magical creatures exist? You know, like in She-Ra, there's a flying horse. In Avatar, Appa, the flying bison, is a major character. In Harry Potter, it's just all of the things. But this is basically just like, what kind of magical creatures are there that exist? Which can be overwhelming, but yeah, can be overwhelming to think about, but yeah. And if magical creatures exist, can selective breeding happen? Basically, in real life, we've specifically bred certain types of dog or cats or various other animals like horses and stuff. So that certain traits they won't have certain traits, and they'll have certain other traits. Is that something that can happen with magical creatures? And can magical creatures be tamed? Are they like horses or dogs or cats, where you can own them as pets? Or are they more like something you wouldn't be able to fit in your house? Or something that just simply doesn't like people, or just wouldn't be feasible to have as a pet? I couldn't think of any examples of this, but you have that. You can probably think of something. And that's the end of this. Thank you so much for coming. And if you have any questions, please direct them to the text channel because, again, I am deaf. But thank you so much for coming and listening to the panel.